Hmm. Elevating Consciousness 777. What's up, my brother? Gills 666. The number of the beast. Diego Mendez and Amrit. I salute you. I salute everybody. We got 10 people here. It's been a while since we've done the live stream. I've been really busy with life as of late. And I'm happy to do this again. And I think the break is good because we get to miss each other a little bit, right? Even before things started getting really busy, I thought maybe we should space out the live streams a little bit more because, if you do too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Kuba Bart Kwayak. What's up, my brother? Hello, cutie. May I ask about microdosing shrooms? Well, ask. What do you have? What is the question? Prayers to the victims in New Zealand. Prayers to the victims everywhere in New Zealand and everywhere else. The planet is a sea of suffering. If you have not already noticed that, the Buddha did not come with his Four Noble Truths out of his ass. Believe me, he didn't just reach to his asshole and he's like, oops, we got the Four Noble Truths here. He really thought about it long and hard, and he came up with the conclusion that life in this plane of consciousness, in this particular reality, is dukkha. It is suffering. And so you see it all around you with the victims in New Zealand and in Syria, where my family is from, and everywhere else. Guys, save your soul, okay? Save your soul, meditate, work on yourself, and learn how to reach higher states of awareness, learn how to reach samadhi, and then learn how to do mahasamadhi. Mahasamadhi is you choosing consciously when you leave your body, okay? And I've been wanting to make a video on that, so I'll leave it for a separate video. Okay, I just started. What do you recommend for daily dosage? Thank you. It has helped me with anxiety, panic attacks. Should I increase? I think for a beginner, a good dose for mushrooms for microdosing purposes is 0.2, 0.25. Space it out every other day, every 3 days. And if you would like to increase when you feel like you are ready. Okay, if it's you're comfortable with that state of mind, if you're comfortable with the state of being that you're in when you microdose, then begin to increase slowly. Okay, very, very slowly, because what happened to at least 3 of my friends, I know them personally, they're personal friends, is they started microdosing and they were absolutely ranting about it. They were having a blast, okay? You would think Jesus himself came down again and got resurrected. Like, they were just ecstatic. You know that feeling when you start microdosing. And then they ran into some trouble. They ran into some anxiety. They increased the dose a little bit too much. They didn't give enough time to adjust themselves in this new state of consciousness in society. And as a result, it scared them away. They actually ran away from psychedelics altogether because they ran into anxiety, despite the fact that for 2 months they were having an absolute blast. Okay, so you've got to really give yourself enough time to adjust your mind body complex into this new way of being. So even if you're going to increase, do it very slowly. Okay? When you move to Thailand, will you be doing ice baths and cold showers? I'm expecting a lot of questions about Thailand. That this live stream, for whatever reason, I am anticipating a lot of questions about Thailand. So, ice baths and cold showers, probably not. Probably not. Because, I spent time in Qatar before, which is a really super hot country. I spent time there in winter. It's not cold. The water is not cold. I'm sorry. The water is not cold. It's not cold. It's warmer than the cold water here in the summer in Canada. Because in the summer here it's about 20 degrees. In the winters it's about 5 degrees. Big difference. But honestly, when I was in Qatar in winter, and their winters are similar in temperature to Thailand winters, the water must have been still 27 degrees, okay? And that was no cold shower, okay? That was no cold shower. So there's probably no cold showers. Their cold water is probably like at least 25 degrees, which is, it's nothing. And I'm not gonna go out of my way to make ice baths and buy the ice and set it up. Look, everything is energy. And every time and every space and every circumstance has its allies. So you could think of cold showers for me here as an ally throughout my time in Canada, because the energy here, it's low. You've got 6-7 months of winter, practically no sunshine, practically no contact with the elements, no grounding, no contact with nature. The energy is very low here for half the year. Very low. It's very low. The people are depressed and sickly and overworked and stressed. Then this beautiful, wonderful ally, cold water, the cold, was such a wonderful teacher and an ally to give me energy in these energy deprived times and circumstances. Okay? Now, the other ally that I have been in the company of, psychedelics and microdosing. And it seems to me that as I move to Thailand, these two things will probably be no longer in my radar. Okay, because there are so many other sources of energy in a country like Thailand. You've got the sun, you've got the elements, you've got nature, you've got the people. They call it the land of smiles. You've got the beautiful climate, the beautiful nature, the Buddhist monasteries. It's like there's so many sources of energy there that I will not even really need the cold showers or the psychedelic. And I plan on weaning myself off of psychedelics before leaving to Thailand. Because, I'm just going to have so much time to a lot less stress. So I can meditate, which is basically the same effect as psychedelics, except for it's sustainable and you don't need anything for it. So I probably won't be doing ice baths when I'm in Thailand. Probably not. I am able to meditate now thanks to all your information. I am glad to hear that. Keep it up, because meditation is really, it's the ultimate thing to do. Really, it is the ultimate thing to do. We know we don't need to eat much, barely anything, when we do it little by little. But what's your view on drinking a lot of water? Okay, I'll give you my experience since I've been eating primarily fruits. I do not need half as much of the water that I used to need before. Really, I am surprised, because I was accustomed to drinking crazy amounts of water. But as I shifted into a primarily fruit-based diet, it's not 100%, okay? Every now and then I'll eat cooked foods and sneak a cookie here and there. So it's not 100%, but it's primary, 80 to 90%, it's fruit based. I do not need even half. Maybe I'm drinking third of the water that I used to drink before because the fruits are high in water. That's one thing that really convinced me that fruits are the ultimate food for human beings. The fact that they contain such large amounts of water, okay, which is, one of the basic four elements of creation. And your body is 70% water, everything is water. So I think if you start to eat more fruits in your diet and you don't eat much, that's another thing. If you don't eat much, because anytime you eat, you need water to process the food. Then you don't need as much water. You really don't. You have any tips how I can get over not feeling good enough? I still have minor OCD. Just wondering if you have any tips. The feelings of inadequacy that we all experience from time to time to varying degrees, and believe me, every person you know experiences these feelings. Inadequacy, low self-esteem. Take the hottest 11 out of 10 girl by all standards. She's beautiful physically, she's beautiful emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and she will also from time to time to varying degrees suffer with inadequacy and low self-esteem. The root cause of these feelings of inadequacy is a deep sense of separation. Okay, this is going back to the Garden of Eden, eating from the apple of tree. We were previously to eating the apple from the tree of knowledge. We were living in perpetual bliss. Okay, we were blissed out. We were in harmony with the Tao, just perfect, beautiful, non-dual. We ate from the apple, and suddenly the ego is born, the mind is born, the sense of separation is born. And so because of that sense of separation, everyone feels inadequate. Of course you're going to feel inadequate because you've been cut off the source, and you have never been cut off the source. You're always connected to it, but you think you are. And if you think you are, of course you're going to feel inadequate. So the tip that I'm going to give you is to connect more with the oneness, okay? Very broad, very vague, very Taoist-like. It's almost like you're reading something out of the way of the Tao Te Ching, right? Just vague, connect to the oneness. But at least keep the oneness in your consciousness at all times. Keep in mind that you're a being, an entity connected to much greater energy. Okay, and if you keep that in mind, there's a saying: if you wear leather shoes, the whole earth is covered with leather because you're wearing leather shoes. Wherever you go, it doesn't matter if it's dirt, if it's grass, if it's concrete. To you, the whole earth is covered with leather. On the same token, if you place your mind on God, if you see God in everything, if you see the oneness in everything, then wherever you go, you're at one with everything else. Okay? I am stressing out. I'm going through a lot right now. I mean by a lot is, and it sucks because it's about a girl. See, okay. There's two parts to me. There is the part that is very compassionate, and there is the part that is the joker. Okay, and every time somebody says, man, I'm going through a lot, this and that, I can't help but laugh. And this laughter is because I laugh at myself. Because every time I hear myself, because we're all the one consciousness, we have the same predicament, we're in the same predicament. Because every time I see myself feeling self-pity and feeling sorry for myself and like, oh, poor Saeed, you have a lot of problems, I start laughing at myself. I laugh at myself consistently, almost regularly, because I am always like, poor you, Saeed, you got a lot of problems, right? Because really, our problems don't exist. Like, it's a funny thing. However, the compassionate part of me says this is the human predicament. And our problems are an illusion. Everything is an illusion. Nevertheless, from a certain plane of consciousness, they do remain real to a certain extent. So, I don't know. I think that what I'm going to tell you here is empty your mind, be like water, and meditate. The more you empty your mind, the more you realize you don't have any problems. And if you would like to realize that there is no problem, that there is no problem, you have no problem right now. There is no problem, you're creating it in your mind. Meditate and laugh, okay? Laugh, because, when I say laugh, you could do this deliberately. So you could, for example, you could do this meditation. It's you just go like the right. You just make funny noises and funny faces, and you just go like the and you can't help but laugh. You can't help it. Okay, do that for about 2-3 minutes. You're gonna start losing your shit. You could watch some comedy, South Park, whatever it is. The more you incorporate laughter as like part of your life, the more you realize you have no problems, and you're just like your funny little childish mind is creating them. Okay? So yeah. It's crazy. I was only just watching your videos earlier today, bro. Synchronicity, bro. I will. Thank you. Peace to you. Peace to you as well. What's in the background right now? Surprisingly, the question did not come early enough. So I'm teaching, I'm in the final processes of getting hired to teach English to children online. And this is sort of going to be the primary way of me generating income while I'm living abroad, pretty much permanently at this point. So here's Teacher Saeed, and here's some stuff and some emojis, and that's the reward system here. So are you always going to be sticking to the breathing exercises? Absolutely. And how I'm going to replace cold showers and ice baths, I've never actually done ice baths, but cold showers, is by increasing the amount of time and energy I put into the Wim Hof method. And that should pretty much compensate me for the cold showers, pretty much. Man of the year. So I met this girl, she goes to my school, trying to make this short as we've been talking. Okay, there's nothing bad about that, but wait, the third day I met her, she told me she was fucking some dude named Tim. Days go by and she told me she wanted to date me and I was pretty shocked. So she said she chose me over Tim. I was like, Tim longer. One day Tim went to hit her phone and text me this: "Hey buddy, I'm at her house right now. I just finished fucking her." Wow. Like we're talking about, it's almost like we're talking about some goods, some objects that you're buying in the marketplace. Like, hey dude, I just finished the groceries. Because she says she's not ready for a relationship, which I respect, but then she said, let's be friends, which I'm cool with, but then she wants to go to prom as friends. I didn't want to be mean or rude, so I didn't say anything. I just said, okay, I stayed as friends, not bad, right? Well, I text her. She tells me I'm with Tim. Okay. To be honest, I'm not understanding what's going on here. Okay. Okay, my dad is 55 years old. He wants to use mushrooms first time. How much to use? Wow. Dad of the Year award goes to Elevating Consciousness 777's father. Dad of the Year. He wants to try mushrooms for the first time and he's consulting his son. Wow. 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 Okay. 1.5 grams would be good for a first timer. Okay. What sort of movies do you like, bro? Okay, well, I had phases. I was really obsessed with mob movies at some point. Godfather, Goodfellas, Casino, Carlitos Way, Scarface, anything Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. I had like a 5 year phase, obsessed. Okay, I still love those movies. I love Al Pacino, I love Robert De Niro, and Joe Pesci. And then the other category that I enjoy is epic fantasy. Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie of all time. And I could probably sit down with anybody and talk about it for hours on end. I've ran the Lord of the Rings marathon for at least 10 times. You know, the Lord of the Rings marathon is you sit down one day and you watch all three movies, extended version from start to finish. Okay? And I absolutely love Lord of the Rings and anything epic fantasy and ancient, so Gladiator, oh, Troy, war movies in general, right? Absolutely love it. And then Game of Thrones, which is the final season, is coming out. It's coming out in April. I'm super excited for that. So yeah, anything war related or epic fantasy. Because you know, I think Lord of the Rings is channeled straight out of the astral realm. The entire Lord of the Rings world, that will blow your mind even more when you watch Lord of the Rings, because you're now watching it with the knowledge that this is real, that we channeled a particular plane of existence, plane of consciousness in the astral plane, and we made a movie out of it. How brilliant is that? Elves are real, the Shire is real, the hobbits are real, dwarfs are real. It's all like in another plane of consciousness, just as real as this one. Wow. Wow. I've got to watch Lord of the Rings again because I haven't watched it in so long with this new perspective. It's gonna blew my mind away. Anton, what's up, my brother? Avengers Endgame, April 26th. You know, I haven't got into Avengers. I have not got into Avengers. You look gaunt, my man. Are you okay? I don't know what that word means. Nathan Wong, how you doing, bro? I am doing fantastic. You need to drop her, bro, straight up. She's just using you for attention. Yeah, there's a lot of drama going on with that story, to be honest. You look tired. You getting sleep these days? On and off, on and off. I've been really busy with life, my brother. I've been really busy just chasing bills. Why do you think I'm getting my ass out of here? I'm getting my ass out of here because it's just so hectic and expensive and stressful. What about The Matrix? Love it. Love it. Just completed 8-day water fast, and my God, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Wow. I can imagine. I've done 3 days, and that was pretty challenging. And I can only imagine 8 days. That's quite something. What do we got here? Let's see. That's sweet as friends, like only trust me, drop her, you'll thank yourself later. Find someone that actually cares about you, brother. Okay. You're in high school. You've got all kinds of hormones running into your body right now. And you're in the phase where it's very sensitive. You're in a very sensitive stage. Age 13 to age 20 is a very sensitive and actually difficult stage of a human being's life. Okay? It isn't easy because your body is going through massive changes, hormonally speaking, and you're pretty much, I mean, I heard Sadhguru once say that as a teenager, your body is hijacked by hormones. And right now, your body is hijacked by hormones. And that's why the only thing you could think about is this girl, because you want sexual gratification. Okay, totally cool. That's how I was as a teenager. That's how practically every teenager is. That's why I highly recommend NoFap. I highly recommend you channel that incredible amount of sexual energy that is going through your veins and channel it into something else. Okay? Channel it into something else. Right now, it is being fully channeled into girls. So it's obsessing you in your mind. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing but think about this girl, right? So I recommend you start to do NoFap and start to channel that energy into higher things. That could be a creative project that you have. That could be sports, if you play sports, something. And then in that process of being totally grounded in your being, you'll meet exactly the perfect girl for you. And it'll happen just like that. And it'll happen so easily. Okay? How do you channel anger, sexual energy, frustration into motivation or drive? I've kind of struggled with that, honestly. Okay, I can tell you for me, the phase that I used to be really angry, I channeled it into martial arts. Okay, I got a punching bag. I started learning boxing on my own. Then I started taking Krav Maga classes. I started to channel that anger into martial arts because I was so angry with the world. I was so angry with my childhood. I was caught. I was caught in the ruthless grips of my mind. Okay, I was dwelling on the past, dwelling on my shitty childhood. I was angry with this system, the slavery, wage slavery system. I was very angry. I was so angry. Okay, I've always been an angry kid because I've had a very rough childhood, full of violence, right? Full of violence. And for me, the best way for me to channel that energy, because it was just too much of it, is martial arts. I put it into martial arts. So that's one way, because if you put it into martial arts, you're going to find yourself just naturally more calm and peaceful because you physically release that tension, that energy, that anger. And when you do so, it leaves your body, leaving you feeling calm, grounded. And in that calmness and in that groundedness, you could begin to reflect upon the root cause of your anger. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Because if you don't find what the root cause of your anger is, it's gonna keep repeating. You're gonna get angry, you're gonna go to a martial arts class, you're gonna release the anger, and then you're gonna feel good, and 2 days later you're gonna be angry again, and then you're gonna go to class, and then you're gonna release it, you're gonna feel amazing, fantastic, peaceful, wonderful, and it's gonna keep repeating. Okay? The point of you channeling your energy into martial arts is to get yourself in a calm place, reflective place. And in that reflective space, you can begin to journal. You could begin to ask yourself, what is the root cause of my anger? Once you get to the root cause and you deal with the problem at its root, your anger will dissipate. To be 100% honest with you, I have no drive or no inclination to do martial arts anymore. I was huge on martial arts. I did wrestling in high school. I learned a little bit of boxing. I learned Krav Maga. I learned Muay Thai. I used to train practically every day. I have no longer an inclination because I don't really feel angry. What's there to be angry about? From my perspective now, there really isn't much to be angry over. But I've gone to the deep root of it, which was a lot of it in my childhood. And as you become more present in the moment, and as you let go and you forgive and forget, okay, the anger will dissipate, because most of our anger has to do with a childhood or not accepting what is in the moment, not making the best out of your current circumstances. And that's why you do something, you release the energy physically, and then you sit down and reflect on your anger in that calm, grounded, centered space. Okay? Talk about walking barefoot on grass. You put me on that when we first did LSD. There's just something about it that feels amazing. Can't wait for spring to walk around in some grass. God bless, brother. God bless, Marty. And I will see you soon, brother. You know that. So think of our body like a battery. Okay, like it can be charged by energy. And we sort of have two outlets, okay? And I'll explain to you the whole Shakti and Shiva from a Hindu perspective. Down below, our lower chakras and all the way down is our connection to earth, our connection to this plane of consciousness, okay? Up below, the heart and above is our connection to higher consciousness, other altered states of consciousness. And we're sort of in the middle of it, where, you know, the lower chakras are your animal chakras, and then your higher chakras are your spiritual chakras, if you want to think about it like this, okay? Now, from a Hindu perspective, you have the Shakti energy. The Shakti energy is creative energy within this plane of consciousness. And it rises upwards and it meets Shiva at the top, which comes through your crown chakra, goes down your spine, meets with the Shakti. The Shakti is the energy, the creative energy of this plane of consciousness. Shiva is the cosmic energy. And they both come down and they meet. So when you ground your feet in the grass, in the dirt, in the sand, you get some of the Shakti energy, some of the creative energy. And since everything came out of earth, us and everything, the food we eat, the animals, the plants, right? Everything comes out of the earth. You're able to have that much more access to the Shakti energy, okay? And you release some of the ions, some of the positive ions, and you exchange them with negative ions, which balances out your system. See, our system is so unbalanced because of all these rays that we're exposed to. Like right now, just me sitting here, there is so many electronics around me. I'm being exposed to a lot of rays right now that are unbalancing my energy centers. By grounding ourselves on the earth, we exchange the ions, and then the earth essentially balances you out. It balances out the system, therefore allowing the Shakti and the Shiva energy to flow smoothly. It removes all the obstructions. Okay, we've got so many obstructions living as modern human beings. So many obstructions to the flow of the Tao, the flow of the energy, the cosmic energy through us. And grounding is one of the ultimate ways to balance out the energy system. You're an energy system, okay? So, if you ground yourself and if you do sun gazing and if you do that every day, right? Pretty soon you're going to feel like you're out of this world, because the sun is the metaphysical light. It gives you that Shiva energy, that cosmic energy. Then there's the earth, the Shakti energy, and they both meet together. So it's this unbelievable, unconquerable combination. Okay, and I sent you, by the way, Marty, you know, I sent you the talk by Hiramanik, the sun gazing guy who does not eat. And he basically, the way he is able to do it, he's able to be sustained off the prana, is through grounding and sun gazing consistently, persistently, and over a period of time. Okay, so yeah, like seriously, man, we're so unbalanced as modern human beings. Our energy is so unbalanced and it's so obstructed. It's full of obstructions. How do you gain muscle while eating only fruits and eating once a day? Because muscle building is mostly about stimulating the muscle to the point of failure and doing that over and over and over and over. So if you're doing push-ups every other day and you're really pushing yourself every single time, you're going for failure and you're doing, 4 to 8 sets, you're gonna grow a big chest over time, over a year, over 2 years, over 3 years, regardless of what you're eating. Regardless of what you're eating. Your body knows how to beat a heart. It knows how to build a muscle. It really knows how to build a muscle, okay? It's got everything inside of it. It's got amino acids, okay? It's got growth hormone is really what builds your muscles, what heals. If you have a pimple, heals it. If you have a cut, heals it, so on and so forth. Have you ever questioned why is it that when you get a cut somewhere on your body, within a week it's gone? Well, that's because your body is constantly rebuilding, regenerating, and getting rid of waste. It knows how to build a muscle. You've just got to give a stimulus to the muscle, and you've got to do it consistently. See, you could believe in the belief system that I need this amount of protein and this amount of calories to build muscle, but that's just a belief system. And so the predicament that you find yourself in is you start to believe in that belief system, and then it becomes your reality. Meaning it is absolutely true that if you believe you need 100 grams of protein and you need 2,500 calories, then you put yourself in a predicament where your body can only build muscle if you give it that amount of calories and that amount of protein. And the reason is your belief system. Our mind, if the belief is strong enough in a belief system, it overrides everything else. The body is created via the mind, okay? And that's the problem. The problem is that you're so bought and caught into the belief system that now it becomes true. So when somebody says, I need protein to build muscle and I need X amount of calories, 2,500 or whatever, I say, you do. You got that right. You do. I don't, but you do. Because you believe in that, right? So just recognize that your mind creates the reality that you're in, and it's the mind that creates matter, and the mind overrules everything else, okay? Now, I could eat a terrible, I could eat a Big Mac right now. My body's not gonna feel well. That's just the programming in my body, in my biology. However, if I was a highly skilled yogi, a highly skilled alchemist, I would look at the burger and I would transmute it with my mind into the most delicious, healthiest food you can ever eat. And I'll eat it and it'll turn into bliss in my body because the mind can over... Okay, we are back. So as I was saying, to go back into the point that I was making, let's say there's a Big Mac here. Now, my body, your body, the human body is not designed for this. So there are certain things in your body, certain programs that when you eat that Big Mac, you're gonna feel terrible. And there's like things in it that are not designed to be inside your body, and your body's gonna have to get them out, and it's not a pleasant feeling overall. But again, if I was a highly skilled yogi, a highly skilled meditator, a highly skilled alchemist, with my mind, that's what alchemy is, I would be able to transmute this Big Mac into the most blissful food I have ever eaten in my life. Because my mind creates my reality, creates matter. Okay? So, of course, always the best thing is to work with the programming that is already inside your body. You don't see yogis going to Big Mac and eating them. You see them eating that fruits mostly, actually, and simple vegetables and rice, because they want to work with the pre-existing programming inside their body. But if they were presented with a Big Mac, they would not blink an eye, because they were able to transmute it. So mind creates matter. And this whole thing with we need this amount of protein and this amount of calories is total horse shit. It is total horse shit. Now, if you want to buy into it, all power to you. Oof, we got a lot of questions here. All right. Where are we right now? Boxing is very therapeutic when you're younger, but when you get older, things like hot yoga and meditation are more likable. I totally agree, 100%. That's been my experience so far, and I have such a special place in my heart for martial arts. They really help me. Is Thailand safe for living? How much income is good for living there, and how do you make income? So it is very safe. It's one of the safest places you could be in. As for income, as you can see this behind me, I will be very soon teaching children English online. And I think I saw another question about that. So basically, you need very simple requirements. You need a bachelor's degree, which I have in chemical engineering. Any bachelor's degree will do. You need to, I think, be either Canadian or American. And you need any experience with children. You could say, I babysit my cousins. That's good enough. And there are many, many companies. So if you have those requirements in place and you are very interested in this, we'll talk about it. Let me know and we'll talk about it, okay? Do you follow world politics? Not really. Nah, not now, not in this stage of my life anyway. Maybe when I'm older. Maybe I'll get into politics when I'm older, but not anytime soon. Peter, hey Saeed, sending love from UK. Mwah, sending love from Canada to all my UK peeps. On a trip, have you ever seen the wheels in people and in natures or places with like stings linking them all? I've seen the sacred geometry of nature, and I've seen music turn into mathematics, literally. Literally, I closed my eyes, I was listening to music, and literally the music became math. It became numbers. All I can see is numbers floating in the air. Let's trip when you're in Toronto. Well, why don't you come to Ottawa and we'll do that? Because I don't know if I'm gonna come to Toronto. I have to because my plane leaves from there to Thailand, but it'll be a quick 2-day thing. But if you want to come to Ottawa, man, you're more than welcome. Saeed, how can you help your parents change their eating habits and help them lose weight with you? Other than leading by example, the only thing you could do is lead by example. Can't really do anything else. Lead by example, don't preach. If your dad or your mom comes to you, asks you a question, you answer them. But don't preach on them, because you can't change anyone. The change has to come from within. So all you could do is lead by example, and that's all you could do. This is coming from someone whose parents did not eat healthy their entire lives, and now they're suffering the consequences of it. And it breaks my heart, trust me. I've tried to change their eating habits. It only makes things worse. They get sensitive about it. It becomes a battle of egos. Watch with detached compassion and lead by example. Jacques, I love you. Thank you for all the love that you're always putting in these comments. So I wrote this paragraph and it disappeared. Can you say my name? You're my inspiration. Wade Pisani. Is that it? Pisani? Teacher Saeed. Yeah, eh? How do you like that? After mushies, they say I can eat anything. It's fine. The gut knows the way. Just let it do its thing. Yeah, you could eat anything. You're an alchemist. You could eat anything. You could transmute it. You could mentally transmute it. But do you have enough focus, concentration, and one-pointedness to do that? If you do, you could eat anything. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so I've been really happy with life and did Adderall, and my boost is so increased. Yeah, Adderall is one hell of a drug. Okay, I might take you up on that offer. Might visit Ottawa anytime. I think we have somebody coming here from one of you guys coming here soon. So I'm totally open. Do you learn Turkish? I learned a little bit. I learned a few words when I was in Istanbul, and I was planning on learning further. And I was actually planning on going to Turkey first before going to Thailand, but that project is postponed. And I say postponed because I'd like to go hang around Konya. Konya is the sort of Sufi capital of the world. And that's where Jalaluddin Rumi is shrine is. I know a few words. I know like Memnun oldum, nice to meet you. I used to be able to count the numbers all the way to some like 10 or 11, but I forgot. But I was learning Turkish. I really was, and it's easy because 40% of the vocabulary has Arabic roots. It was very easy process. But I postponed that until I go live in Turkey. Thank you, Saeed, my brother. You are very welcome, brother Nathan. GR Gaming, I love you, bro. You're like Jesus to me. I love you too, my brother. Have you been to Boston before? No. Saeed, I love you. What does losing your virginity do? It makes you feel good, I guess, because you're no longer thinking to yourself, am I going to be a virgin for the rest of my life? You kind of get it out of your system. It makes you feel good for a little bit. Makes you feel good for a week, 2 weeks maybe, until you go on rushing for your next rush. Okay? But it's quite an experience because at that point of losing your virginity, it's probably, for most people, the first point of contact with cosmic energy, with oneness. For most people, that's their first point of contact. So it's very intense. Very intense until you try psychedelics. A big dose of psychedelics is way more intense than a sexual orgasm. And it lasts longer. It lasts for like 5 hours, right? And it really, in many ways, psychedelics blow sex away. You think sex is the most powerful human experience until you experience psychedelics. But you even go beyond psychedelics, which what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to wean myself off of psychedelics altogether and sort of become high permanently on Krishna, high on God, on the Tao, every moment of your life. And the way to do that is via meditation. How is the teaching gig going? I'm in the final stages of being hired. I still have not got hired yet. I have to pass the mock test, the mock classes, but I'm pretty much guaranteed because now I'm at the stage of the hiring process where I can't fail. I just have to keep doing it over and over and over. Saeed, I need advice on revision. Do you think cramming is good for me? It works, but it can be stressful. Cramming is not good. Cramming is not good. The way I like to learn is I like to kind of learn bits and pieces. Like if I'm reading a book, I'll read it for 15 minutes and 15 minutes only. And I'll put it down and I'll go for a walk. I'll go do something completely different. Then I'll come back the day after, I'll read for another 15 minutes. And then I'll go do something completely different. Make videos, go for a walk, go for a workout, for a jog, whatever. And I find that a beautiful way of learning. Beautiful way. I let it sink in. Saeed, what happened to your old Hamilton friends? How do you deal with losing friends? Well, one of them was here and probably is still here. I am okay. I have an incredible amount of friends in Hamilton. Very, very close friends. Brothers. But at this point in my life, I could say that I've reached a point where I'm relatively detached from this world. Not fully, because then that would make me a self-realized being. I still have my attachments to food, to psychedelics, to sunlight, and many attachments I still have. But as far as people, I think to a large extent I've become detached. Meaning if I'm with you here, and we're in the same room or we're in the same space, I love you and I'm here for you 100%. And there isn't anything in the world but us communicating. But outside of that, I've got to attend to the moment. And so to be 100% honest with you, I am okay with never seeing any of my friends in Hamilton ever again. Even speaking to them ever again. Sounds ruthless, doesn't it? It sounds like, whoa, what the hell are you saying? But I love them. Truth is, I love them. I love them so much. But I'm going to die at some point. They're going to die. So why am I clinging on to them And I expect the same from them. Why are they clinging on to me? If everything leads to the grave, if death is the human condition, if everything goes, we better then be ready for that moment. Every single moment of our lives, we better be prepared to die and drop everything at a moment's notice. And so that's why I have zero hesitation going to Thailand. I have zero hesitation starting over. I mean, I'm not coming back to North America. I might come drop by every 5 years to just see what the scene's about, but I'm done with North America. And so if I'm going to see any of my Hamilton friends, it's going to be most likely them visiting me wherever I am in that part of the world. But like I said, we all die, we all drop everything at some point. This is all a dream, an illusion. So why cling on to anything? I love Rumi. Oh, I love Jalaluddin, Maulana Rumi. We have many other Sufis or Alavi figures like Haji Bektis. I would love to learn about it. I really would. I really would, and I think the best place to learn about it is in Turkey. Saeed, do you still weight train at all, or are you more so into spirituality more than anything? I do body weight training. Keeps me in good shape. Christian, hello, welcome to your first live stream. Are you still microdosing daily? Yes, but I have not microdosed today, and I think I'm going to stop microdosing before going to Thailand. I think I'm going to stop psychedelics altogether. And maybe trip every 6 months or so, just to see where I'm at. I think meditation is going to be the next thing for me. I have done weed, but I'm scared to try other drugs. I don't know what to do next. Well, ask yourself, why am I doing these drugs? If you're doing these drugs purely for leisure, they're not gonna get you anywhere. But if you do weed, say, I'm really gonna listen to the marijuana. I know there's wisdom in there. I'm doing it to gain wisdom. Then these drugs become very, very useful. But if you're doing it just because you want to get another rush, yeah, it'll be nice, but it'll be just like any other rush. It'll fade away. Have you heard of Qi Gong or Tai Chi? And what are your thoughts? Yes, I have actually from, there's this teacher that I follow called Eli Tom Elamin. He's a breatharian. He lives off prana. He doesn't need to eat. And he always rants about Qi Gong and Tai Chi, which other than that, I don't know anything about them. I just know that they move the energy in a certain way throughout your body. And I think they're probably wonderful tools to do that. And as I move to the East, that's where those traditions come from. I'll be getting more and more into these type of energy work, this type of energy work. Simph, what's up, my man? What's going on, brother? How is the fruitarian eating once a day journey been going on for you? I'm sure this has been asked, but where are you? I am here in my room in Ottawa. Saeed, I'm not sure if I should go university or not, because people that have gone say it's a scam and you just get into debt. There's a lot of truth to that. But here I am doing this online English teaching gig because I have a university degree. So they could still be useful. If I didn't have the university degree, I wouldn't be able to do this. And this is going to sustain me largely living abroad. So I can't really say, I thought university was total bullshit. Be honest with you, I thought I'll never use my chemical engineering degree, but it's actually come in handy. So I can't really say. It really depends on your own individual circumstance. It really does. I totally feel that, man. Soon as you aren't in my field of view, it's gone. I'm captivated by something else now. And yeah, if someone dies, just looking forward to the reunion. Exactly. I mean, look, you'll see them next life, 2 lifetimes, 3 lifetimes. There's no rush. We're one consciousness dancing with itself, and we'll keep dancing. Don't worry. The dance goes on for eternity. Okay, so what time is it? Yeah, I have to get going. So I'm going to answer a few questions, and I guess we'll do a live stream again next week when I have more time on my hands, or maybe the week after. Okay, Saeed, do you have a girlfriend? What do you think of polygamy? I do not have a girlfriend at the moment, and I actually have made a pretty detailed video on polygamy and monogamy coming up, and I think I named it Sex with Multiple Partners. So look out for that. I already scheduled it. It should be out next week. Okay, it's a long video, like 20 minutes plus. So look out for that. Glad you're still taking care of your physical body. Don't neglect it. No way. No way. I love my body. I love training. Why do you want to stop? Have you been experiencing any negative side effects while microdosing? No, I'm just trying to wean myself off of all of my attachments, and I'm trying to just get that natural high going at all times. Plain and simple. I'm just trying, and I know the way now. It's meditation. If I cultivate a solid meditative practice in a year or two, and Thailand's going to help me tremendously with that. I'm going to have a lot of time to meditate there, a lot of time. If I develop a really strong meditative practice for a year, I will be permanently microdosed, essentially. And isn't that better? Isn't that better to just be that naturally high all the time? Okay, so I love you all. Hedonism is interesting. It really is. Saeed, you ever been on a nude beach? I went a few months back for the first time. Really fun. I plan on doing that in Thailand. I think they have a few nude beaches laying around. I have not, but I plan on doing that because, like, yeah, it's another prison, you know. It's another prison. Close. Okay, we'll read the last comment and then I have to get going. Last year, I went to Thailand for Muay Thai. I was there 3 months and didn't make any friends, which is a reflection of most of my life. How do I find purpose when I'm so lonely and want to connect? Being lonely is your blessing. I remember days where I was crying for an hour at a time because I felt lonely. I felt like there is nobody there that understands me in the world. And without that loneliness, I never would have had the balls to go into the woods at night and drop mushrooms and find who I really am. Because once you find who you really am, you're alone, you're one, there's only one of you. So you better damn well get used to the solitude. You better damn well get used to just being alone. Because you are alone and you'll always be alone, no matter how much you convince yourself with this illusion of the many, the dance of the many. You are one. There's only one of you. There's only one of us here. And we're all operating under the illusion that there is many of us, but there's only one. So you better get used to that because that's your blessing. And by the way, everyone on their journey to enlightenment has to go through this dark night of the soul where you experience loneliness and you feel like you're alone. There is nothing there until you realize that you are indeed alone. And once you realize that, hey, I am alone, there's only one of me, the cosmic giggle will soon enough dawn on you. And you'll just kind of revel in the dance of the many. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an absolute blast. I know it's shorter than usual. I could go on forever. I know you guys could go on forever, but I have to go. Life has been very, very busy as of late. Mostly just trying to pay bills, honestly. No, mostly just trying to pay bills, and I'm transitioning into this work. Life in North America is really hectic. It really is hectic. It is designed very, very delicately and deliberately to keep us imprisoned to the productivity, to the work system, to the wage slavery. And it's okay. You know, for me personally, I don't have too much of that left, but it really is. Life in North America is very exhausting. It is incredibly exhausting. But I can't complain. I have to do what I have to do. So I will see you guys either next week or the week after. I'll make the announcements usually if I'm going to make a live stream Saturday morning. I'll see how the day is going, what I have to do. So I'll either see you guys next week or the week after. God bless you all. And I will see you guys again.